Welcome, I'm Chef Eric Crowley, owner of the Culinary Classroom in Los Angeles. And today we are going to be making vanilla ice cream. We are going to need 1 pint of heavy cream, that's also known as 2 cups, 5 egg yolks, and 4 ounces of granulated sugar. We're going to utilize a little bit of vanilla extract, 1 to 2 teaspoons. We're going to begin scalding our dairy. That results in taking our heavy cream, putting it into a medium-size pot. A lot of pastry chefs will take about half of their sugar and slowly pour it over the cream. And the remaining half is going to come into play later on. The reason why pastry chefs do this quite often is they say that the sugar helps keep the dairy from burning. And we're going to start to bring that up to just below boil, scalding. What we're looking for when we scald is we're looking for bubbles to come around the rim of the pot, letting us know that it's just about ready to break a boil. While that's happening, we go ahead and we proceed to combine our eggs and our sugar. A lot of chefs will tell you that it's really important that you don't start to mix your sugar and your egg yolks together too early. If you wind up combining them too early and you let them sit after blending them like this, the sugar is hygroscopic. It's going to wind up pulling out all the moisture out of the egg yolks, and what you're going to be left with is really grainy consistency of sugar in the bottom of the bowl. No visible egg anymore at all. The sugar will absorb it all, and it's what pastry chefs call burning. Our dairy here is scalded. We're starting to see some bubbles around the rim of the pot, and at that point we're ready to combine the two. If we wind up taking this hot liquid, however, and we dump it right into these eggs, what's going to happen is the hot liquid, which is hovering at around 200 degrees right now, is going to wind up cooking the eggs, and they're going to scramble. So one of the things that we do is we gradually introduce the hot liquid into the eggs in a process called tempering. I'm going to take my hot liquid and slowly pour in the hot liquid into the bowl while I'm constantly whipping it. What this does is this is going to bring up the temperature of the eggs and cool off the temperature of the hot dairy so the eggs don't scramble. Here I have some hot water. You can tell from the steam that's floating up on top, it's just below a boil. We take our bowl, set it over the pot, lower the heat, and then we want to begin stirring it. Really important that we give it a gentle stir and keep the egg mixture moving. If you let it sit in one spot for too long, the eggs are going to scramble. You're going to get a big thick layer of cooked egg on the edge of your spatula, which is something that we're not looking for. As I continue to stir, notice I'm going to take the spatula and go all around the circumference of the liquid and all over the bottom of the bowl. Want to keep that mixture moving. Not a bad idea occasionally to pick up your bowl and make sure your water underneath is not boiling. After several moments, you'll actually notice that the liquid inside the bowl is going to increase in viscosity. As you start to stir it around, you're going to notice the liquid, as the spatula moves throughout it, is going to be considerably thicker. And the sauce consistency that we're commonly looking for a sauce of this type is what the French call nappé. So the classic nappé test, a spoon is going to wind up working best. A metal spoon, so the sauce has some surface to stick to. A plastic spoon or something like this silicone spatula is not going to give you a really accurate feel for it because the sauce is just going to slide right off of those two surfaces. We'll wind up taking a metal spoon, dip it into the sauce. The sauce should coat the back of the spoon very, very lightly, and we should be able to take our finger and cut across that coating, and that coating that I made should not drip back down. That's a really good nappé. Okay. To continue with our ice cream, in order to proceed, we need our creme anglaise or our custard right here, and then we're going to freeze it. An ice cream maker like this is really important to, in fact, it's essential in order to be able to make ice cream. It does have an insert like this that must be frozen for 24 hours before you go ahead and start to make your ice cream, so you have to plan ahead. So we're going to pour our custard into here, and we're going to let the machine churn the custard away until it becomes really nice and thick. Winds up going onto the machine. There's a paddle or an auger that goes inside. Then we put a little lid on here and then let it rip. And after about 20 minutes, when it gets that soft serve consistency, we could actually keep it inside this container and put this container into the freezer for a good 2 hours in order to get a really nice and frozen solid. Our ice cream, after it churned up to a soft serve consistency, was put back into the freezer for a couple of hours until it started to become really nice and firm. A classic way to serve it is alongside a piece of chocolate cake, for example. I wind up utilizing a little ice cream scoop. I'm just going to take some ice cream and basically pack it into the scoop like this. And right onto the plate like that. Seems like a lot in order to make from scratch, but one of the great things about vanilla ice cream from scratch is that you can control the flavors, you can control the ingredients. You'll find that your store-bought ice creams are going to have stabilizers and some preservatives in it. So keep that in mind when you're making your own. It's only going to keep in the freezer for a couple of weeks, but the flavor is going to be outstanding. And that is one of our uses for vanilla ice cream. Thanks for watching. Be sure to click on other links so you can get other recipes. If you don't see something that interests you, email a request to requests@Mahalodotcom. Also be sure to subscribe so you can get lots of wonderful additional information. Thanks, and I'll see you soon.